Good morning and welcome to A-1 Vacuum and Sewing's live stream for Wednesday, August 21st. This is where I'm I just flew in from New Jersey and boy are my arms tired. Doo-doo-tsh.
God. He's a comedian.
Where are you going? Why don't you just grab a chair right there?
There's stuff on it. I have to get it past the
Oh my God.
boxes.
Is it too hard to remove the stuff? So,
It's too hard to get around the boxes.
Yeah, just another live stream starting with me saying I'm tired.
I know we're so busy.
So what, in the last 6 days, I've driven 1,200 miles. I've flown 6,000 miles. I've lived in 3 time zones. So, I'm normally pretty spry when I get up in the morning. And this morning,
You were spry this morning. You woke me up. You started talking. You know what he does? He goes, he didn't do it this morning, but he goes, how'd you sleep? And usually I'm still sleeping. How'd you sleep? And then he starts
but normally
talking to
that's
me.
because it's time to get up.
How'd you sleep?
That's after the dogs got up a little this morning and I was just like, I'm not getting up.
Yeah.
I'm not
I
getting
was,
up.
yeah, they can't. Here's my t-shirt. Remember I was telling you about the t-shirt that I love? So here's the Grateful Dead and the tie-dye and Live at the Sphere.
Dead and Company.
Dead and Company.
I can't
Oh
believe
my
the size.
God.
Did you tell me that
This
was
is a medium. Medium. And I don't think I've even washed it yet. Can you believe it?
And every time we wash those tie-dyes, they
I love
we
it.
need to put a color catcher in.
I know, and
watch
I know
it
it's
by
not for all
itself.
of you, but this is for me, a warm hug from Dead and Company.
So I have one video that I did when I was there that I need to edit, and I haven't even decided how I'm gonna use it. I posted a lot of information yesterday.
I went on Instagram before I went to pick Patrick up last night, and I was looking at all the pictures that he had posted, and okay, the one that stood out to me the most, and I know it's silly, were the fonts.
So what was funny was actually seeing so things that stood out to me. And this is kind of what I was talking about when I was talking about the fact that it's an entirely new platform. I had walked over and they had a denuded machine, a machine with its covers taken off. And I was looking at the embroidery unit and I'm like, man, that thing is beefy. So the machine is 2 pounds heavier.
We had been telling people 2 pounds
Well,
lighter.
so I think the main machine is lighter, but the embroidery unit is heavier. So one of my sessions at the end of the day yesterday was with their head of engineering and head of technical support. And so in looking at the embroidery unit, I posted something about the machine, and what was funny was the machine was running behind me. And I didn't even know the machine was running. They had one of their open frames running at full speed without thread in it. And I was like, I walked over because I was really excited about two things I was seeing in that denuded frame. And I was like, man, like it looks like everything runs on bearings. And they were like, everything runs on bearings in the embroidery unit.
Why
Like,
does that would never even cross my mind to...
well, so like, you know, on all of our other embroidery units, like if you grab the embroidery unit and you go like that, it kind of moves.
They can't see what you're doing.
Well, but it doesn't matter. Like even on the luminaire, like if you grab the embroidery unit and move it, it moves. It moves on a single rail, and then on the second rail there are wheels, and every now and then it squeaks. It's rare, but like we've seen some squeaky units, and like the heavier the product, the heavier the project, the more kind of noise that project would make. Where with the with this new embroidery unit, there's like no movement in that arm, like side to side, because it runs on rails. They have put reducing gears in place, so the motors working in the machine are working less hard. And the so literally I'm talking to the guy, you know, I don't sew. I can sew. I sometimes have to do my mending.
I know, because I'm like, yes, I'll do it, and then it doesn't.
Like 5 years later,
because
like,
I
still have a hole in my crotch.
He likes that for ventilation.
We were in Las Vegas, and I put on a pair of pants to wear to the concert. And like one of the walls in our hotel room was just all mirrored. So like you could just like look over.
We had a mirrored wall? You mean glass?
It was a mirrored wall. Like the whole wall behind the couch was a mirror.
I didn't even notice that.
And so it was like, it was sunset, like sun was streaming in the window and the windows were open. And I looked over at my reflection in the mirror and I could see the hole in my crotch. Not like you couldn't see into my crotch, but like I could see the sun coming through and that there was a hole there. And I was like, wait a minute, like I can't wear these. So, and then I'm like, you never fix these? So I was excited about the technical stuff, right?
What is that? Okay, segue.
So I literally like walked over and I'm talking to the guy and I'm like, everything's on bearings, and he slides it forward and he's like, feel this, and like it is smooth. And then he moves it forward and he's like, we put reducing gears in, so the motors are working less hard than they do in like the luminaire. Like even when you put a heavier hoop on, it's easier for the motors to move. That's one of the reasons why there's like a bubble on the Y coordinate. And so on the Y coordinate coordinate motor. And so I'm like, man, this thing's going to be so quiet. And he's like, do you hear the machine behind you? And I mean, it was like right there. And I turned around and the only thing you could hear was the needle going up and down. Like, and it's hard because like a bunch of people were talking and we were in kind of like an atrium. So there was like reflected sound, but it was silent and it had the 12x18 hoop on it. So there wasn't a project in it that's going to add like a little sound with like needle and thread going through fabric.
There was no fabric. They just
were running the machine at high speed.
Okay, got it.
And so, but like the movement of the embroidery arm was silent. So like as much as from the Dream to the Luminaire, it got quieter, this got that much quieter. And then looking at the needle bar, how many of you have had to come in and leave a machine because you've gotten thread lock
around the flywheel,
around the not around the hand wheel, around the flywheel cam.
What's the flywheel
next
cam?
to the take-up lever?
Oh, you mean like step number 2, like 3,
like
right
where they get thread locked around
where they get
that.
thread locked.
So they have redesigned that portion of the machine and moved everything to the left. So there's now a space there. So we can literally remove the case from the left side of the machine and remove the thread guide. And I can get an offset screwdriver in there.
And just
So that's a real-time fix now. Like we don't have to, we used to have to take that part of the machine apart to get access to that. It's just that stuff that you look at and you go, that's brilliant. And knowing the other brands, like no one does that.
yeah.
Like no one is building their machines for common fixes. Right. And like, I'm like, so I don't have to pull the whole threader unit and camera unit off
That's what you
to
used to have
get
to do.
to get in there. And he's like, no, an offset screwdriver will fit in there.
See, and those are questions. This is why I guess you should go every year.
No.
You should go every year because I would have never asked any of those questions. I would have never noticed the ball bearings. I would have never known that now that fix will be so much easier. And I didn't know what you had to do to fix it in the first place. And when you said thread lock, I thought you meant on the hand wheel.
No. Well, like when the hand wheel won't turn.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's like, I mean, those two things alone, I was just like, whoa. And it was just funny because I'm like, so this thing's got to be so quiet. Because I walked over, like they were ringing a bell and then you'd go to the next station. And I got to that station before my like people did. Like it would take people a second to move because I was really excited to talk to the guy. And so it was like quiet when I asked the question. Like nobody was talking yet. Everybody was kind of moving around. And I just walked over and was like, I want to talk about this. And he's like, yeah, you don't hear the machine behind you. And I turned around and I'm like, oh my God. And it's funny because that was like when the Luminaire came in. We would have a Luminaire and a Solaris both stitching out directly in front of my desk. And like, you could barely hear them.
Yeah.
And like, this is even quieter.
It's like ninja quiet.
And then the machine is fast. That's the other thing. Like
So
you guys saw
fast,
the video that I posted.
Are we stitching more than 1,050 stitches per minute?
The speed of the machine hasn't changed to my knowledge.
Okay. So how is it fast or
But
faster?
I think it's stitching faster. Like when you watch how the embroidery unit moves, like in the satin stitch, it's stitching even faster.
Which the satin stitch stitches faster in the Luminaire and
It
Solaris
does.
than
So
it
it's
does
gotten
in the
even
Destiny and Dream
faster.
machine.
And then, but like bigger to me is like the AI piece, the in picture play.
Yeah.
Like I was imagining that taking a long time, and anybody that watched that video,
Do they stitch
like
out the
it
whole?
renders so fast.
That's
Like,
crazy.
And so in my head, like I was like, whoa, that was fast. And then one of them, which was like kind of the more detailed and abstract, took a little bit longer, but it was like 30 seconds. So when they're pushing buttons, like that little wait a second doesn't take very long.
So sorry. So Sharon, I still don't think it means we should open up the machines. Because Sharon just wrote something about being able to open up the machine to get the thread out is a game changer.
So
Can the customer do that? Is it easy enough for them
there's
to?
reverse threaded screws in there.
Okay.
And so we've seen probably a total, and this is 4 machines over 10 years.
Yeah.
Where a husband's gotten into the machine and has broken that screw. Or
So it
has tightened it down so much so they put a brass bushing in there to do it. So this is more like it changes what we in the shop do for that.
And it'll be
than
faster.
for the customer.
And it'll be something.
It'll be faster and it'll be a real-time fix. Like every now and then there's not enough going on in the store where I'm like, okay, I'll do it. Cause it's like, it would take like 30 minutes or so. where now it's going to be like a 10-minute repair for a tech.
So so if Patrick's not home and I get thread caught somewhere, I grab it and I pull it. Because I go,
is not what you're supposed to do.
But it's desperation. And I go, for me, when Patrick gets home, I can be like, oh, I pulled that thread. I've never had an issue. There was one time where I got a screwdriver and I started taking off the side thing. And then I stopped because I was like, wait, this looks more complicated than, because I've taken off like a side thing on another machine where you just unscrew it and you take it off and you can look in there. It's more complicated than that. I literally went and removed maybe one screw and then that was it. And then I was like, oh, I better wait for Patrick. But I personally, because I live with somebody who can fix it for me, and you've probably seen me do it in a live feed because every once in a while I'll get like a coil thread. I'll just grab and pull it. And I'll be like, did that work? Oh, let's keep stitching. Don't do that.
Well,
Don't do that.
So you can very gently try to unwind it sometimes.
I didn't know that.
And so
roll the hand wheel towards you.
No, rolling the hand wheel away from you. But you
need to
pull
that.
your bobbin case and do a bunch of stuff if you're going to do that.
Did you hear that?
And
you have to take the bobbin case out and the bobbin
thread. There's more to
thread.
it than just doing than just going But it's like there are some tricks to the trade on that one.
I feel like Patrick's assessment and the things that he brings up too are like, I usually go to these. I don't know any of this, and just sharing that information, it's like, wow, like just knowing that they've redesigned that part and it's going to be easier to work on. What are you laughing
Tish
about?
loves your smelly shirt. It's like she meant skelly shirt, but smelly's funny because deadheads are smelly sometimes.
Okay, did they mention anything about a new 10 needle coming out?
This was literally the Avenir show. Like, they didn't mention anything about anything. So, and they don't broadcast that stuff. So this was not a year for a new 10 needle. So they're not even going to talk to us about a new 10 needle or let us know that that's in the works. So I haven't heard anything about a new 10 needle. I had a lot of questions from R. Michelle for Art Spira. And that is, I think we've been saying Art Spira, but they say,
I say potato.
Well, no, but they are like, it is Art Spira.
Okay.
Art Spira.
They are like,
Art Spira.
yeah, it is Art Spira.
Spira.
And so, and I was like, we call it Art Spira because of inspiration.
Art and inspiration, yeah.
And they're like, well, it's Art Spira. They're like, no, it's not, basically. So, like little things like it was funny because Jeannie's like, oh my God, I got excited about the fonts. Like the way
that
the
one
fonts
that had
work,
like the little bubbles on it.
Yeah.
Like I call it the Cocapelli font. But like the so it's like what else was there? I mean, that stitch regulator, like I'm not, like, disclaimer, I am not a free motion quilter. But I've worked on machines with stitch regulators and they're chunky. I don't know how else to explain that. Like there's a feel to them when you use them where they're a little chunky is the only way I know how to describe it. Chunky, clunky, whatever.
This is, if you haven't seen it, can I get it to show big?
Well, here, I'll just show the actual picture.
He's gonna show, but because I can't wait. Aren't those cool? Like the one that's second from the bottom. I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to stitch that one out. So cool.
It's this one.
And then Patrick kept, yes. Look at, he's zooming in on it.
It is that one.
Because I have
well, no, but there's like and in that font, like when you open that font, like it gets even like more flair. It's the only way I know how to say it.
Oh my God, more
So,
flair.
but like even just watching her use the fonts and how she was able to like modify each individual font and how quick it was and the additional colors, like everything's moved from like 3 or 4 or 5 to 16 colors, and like how fast it is to do things like the auditioning of colors, stuff like that. It is really cool. And like I made a comment where when she was doing that, I was like, this almost looks like what you would almost expect to do in like best software. And they made the comment that that's part of the new platform, is kind of bringing the app infrastructure into the machine. And this is going to be where Brother really differentiates as well.
Differentiates from all the
other brands. Like, and when I say all the other brands, I mean all the other brands, even the ones that sell Brother machines in different clothes. So the new, like I just had a brief conversation with, I went and sat at the table of the Japanese guys, and they're like the engineers, and just was talking about the new platform. And the new platform is Android, and the fact that it's built in Android. And I was like, why Android? And they're like, because Android is an application infrastructure. Like your car runs on Android, phones run on Android, tablets run on Android.
What doesn't? Is it just Apple? Is that the only non-Android?
Pretty much.
Okay.
And even Apple's beginning to introduce like the application infrastructure from Google in their search. Like, everybody's heard the news about Google and antitrust, and like that, a lot of that had to do with the fact that they got Apple to basically integrate that search in there. But a lot of what they're talking about doing is having the ability to pull these software like features into the machine and application infrastructure.
Yeah.
And so like it's in order to do that, they had to go to an application infrastructure that would allow for applications to be pulled into the machine. So it's a totally new platform. It is not built on the same software that the prior machines are, and quite frankly, that's why it's November.
To get it right.
Just to get
it's
it
taking
right,
a little longer,
and just to make sure that everything is perfect. And
so with our, because we do have those 10 limited editions, 2 will come to the store because we need those.
well, we have to be able to display.
Yeah, we have to just be able to display, and we have to be able to demo. So 2 will automatically, because I was like, oh, we have 10 for it, and we can just, they'll be here at the store. And then those will end up with 2 of our employees. And they need them because they're doing classes and curriculum and stuff like that. The 3rd was me, but I think most likely mine will be to somebody else, because
Some of you are really excited
some of
about
you
those.
want it bad, and I want it bad, but I think you want it even more than me.
And Jeannie's like that. Jeannie
wanna-
took her Luminaire home way after we delivered
I took
all
mine
of
home
our,
like last.
all of our other
So
machines.
that will be for somebody. I'm pretty sure, because I haven't seen it yet. I may be like, oh my God, I have to have it. But
It's really pretty. Like the limited edition is really pretty. I was saying to Jeannie, like, I'm not like a big like limited edition guy, but like meaning like I don't get excited about that stuff. But like it's kind of cool. Like none of the machines there were numbered. But they had the frames, and there's like a little plaque where you're going to have a number. Like you're going to be 1 of 1,000, 2 of 1,000, 3 of 1,000, like one of the I was also kind of told that like we're on the earlier side, so we'll
The
have to
early
see.
numbers?
We'll have to see where that.
I just say if you're in that, like,
If you're in the first 1,000, like that's super cool, and like, you know, we're getting as
I'll
many,
be like
if
10,000.
not more than anybody,
Yes.
which is great. And so, somebody asked a question about sewing, like I said, the sewing features that I really looked at, like the guidelines. You guys saw size matters, right? Like it's gone from this big to that big.
What are we talking about?
The guidelines.
Oh my God, I saw that and I was like, okay, that was.
And
so,
the guideline goes 2 inches behind the foot.
So
now.
and it's silly stuff, right? But that font, as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh my God, I mean, the photo stitch or the picture play, whatever that was amazing. And then the fonts, because, you know, it was fun and it was new, and I feel like it's so easy to use built-in fonts. I've purchased so many fonts, but I tend to just use what's in the machine because it's easier and I can just get to it easier. That guideline marker got me really excited too.
And it's super funny what gets people excited about a machine. Like I was always amazed how many people bought the machine. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But like I was amazed at how many people bought the Luminaire for the single stitch needle plate. It was like 2 or 3 minutes into Jeannie's demo, she's like, "Look, ding!" And people are like, "That's it, I'm getting it." And then
that's amazing.
And like that space under
not the single stitch, but the
single button needle plate.
Yeah, to remove it.
Like the space under the needle and the fact that there was more space under the needle. So I spent some more time because it really looked like there was more space there. Quite frankly, I think the space is very similar on the right side, like on the needle side. I'll get there. So
sorry to interrupt you.
you don't like it when I do that to you.
I try not to.
The little screw, like accessing that screw is still kind of the same as it was on the Luminaire. Like I spent a little bit more time because I said when I was there that it looked bigger. There's no question that there's more space from the left side. Like that side has been opened up a little bit. It's a little bit higher in order for them to put the camera in and get the longer projector. That space has been opened up a little bit. But on the sewing front, like, is it going to be able to handle thicker stuff? I don't know. Like I didn't see that. Everything in the machine, because everything is bigger, like that upper shaft is now almost 1/2 inch thick. So like the internals of the machine are totally redesigned. And so, quite frankly, the Luminaire had a lot more torque than the Dream Machine. I think this machine is going to have more torque because there's a lot more machine to move. It's like an extra inch wider. But I don't know. The lighting is super bright. Like you can see that in the pictures I posted. I was actually struggling with the lighting on the machines being so bright that it was washing out my pictures. And I don't remember that ever happening on the Luminaire. So there is more lighting. I don't think it's going to make a difference in app compatibility. And like, I know everybody with Apple computers is like, does that mean we're going to be able to use software? Probably not. Like they just don't write software for Mac OS, but it hasn't mattered on your phones. Like if you're on an Apple phone, or like Michelle's on an Apple phone and uses her app all the time. So like the app infrastructure isn't going to matter. I think what it's going to allow them to do is when they develop new technology and new updates into the machine, they're going to be able to pull it in like almost like app style on the machine. questions. Share the specs with non-waiting list people.
Can we share it with everyone
I
now?
will post the Avenir on the website hopefully tonight, and I'll be putting the specs and what's included.
So
and
everyone
everything.
can see it on the
So
website.
everybody can see
yeah,
it on the
because it's been
website.
released now, so there's no reason we can't.
Yeah.
I did, if you did pre-order on our site, I did go through and I put everyone on there and I created a group. So now Patrick can like send out an email to everybody. But I think I finished that up last night while I was in bed. So you didn't get anything yesterday, but that has been created. And
Well, and like, I'm trying to think of what else I saw. Like, every station was super impressive yesterday. We had a feedback session, and it's funny because like I saw some feedback even on some of the videos that I had posted from their launch videos,
Answer
where
this
people
one,
were
too.
like a little bit underwhelmed. And
I don't
and-
think they were seeing everything though.
And so this is, and
Or
it was funny
understanding
during this
everything.
like information session that we were in, a couple of the dealers were like, that was underwhelming. And so, I think they were upset. And so like I made a comment and
Oh,
was
here.
talking a little bit
Brother
about
has it up.
Art Spira, but but one of the things that I said was like, it's really hard. Like, it's like, there aren't like 8 differences on the machine. There are 300 differences on the machine. And so I think they did the best job they could with the time that they were given. But it's like I said, they're like, we've got 5 new fonts. Well, when you've got 5 new fonts and then you see how fast and how easy it is to use those fonts, like, and it's funny just from like a practical perspective in my mind, like I don't use these machines. I'm not monogramming napkins, right? But she's
Maybe
like
you
doing
should be.
this. She's like doing this stuff and like changing the letters, and it's changing so fast. And I'm like, oh my God, doing like a 3-letter monogram that would be really cool is so easy. And like auditioning, that is super easy. Somebody asked differences between the LE and the regular machine. The LE machine has a different case, meaning it's a significantly more embellished case. And on our Facebook page and on our Instagram, I put pictures of the 2 machines with the difference in that case. There's like a Mickified lace.
Mickified lace.
Well, it's got an embedded Mickey in it.
Yeah.
And so like this like Mickified lace pattern along the top.
Michelle's gonna love that.
The machine is gonna come with 20 additional built-in Disney designs. They both have Disney designs. And then and yes, so you can combine fonts and audition fonts single letter at a time, real time on the screen. So, and it's easy. Like you can go in, select one letter and change it later. It's like super easy.
Price, please.
I am not allowed to talk about that online. Price cannot be posted online, but if you're really interested, you can call.
And Patrick's gonna be calling people
And
now
I'll be
that
calling people now that I've seen the actual price list. We got the price list, so I know what my cost is.
yeah, we can't ship unless
So
you visit us or you
yeah,
can send
but
your
like
sister in.
April, if you're interested, call and we'll figure out the concierge experience. And then we're also, Jeannie and I need to sit down, and this weekend we definitely need to do this to figure out some kind of event. But with the fact that it's pushed back to November, as far as deliveries of the machine are concerned, we're going to do some kind of like tech party or something to try to get the people that do want to come in from out of town here before the weather's bad. Because if it's in mid to late November, like we could be like, yeah, we're going to do it. And then we're like, oh no, it's snowing 4 feet. So yeah, it is super cool. So the limited edition, I don't know. The limited edition is more like it's a different shade of like bluish.
Don't say that.
gray.
I love blue.
Well, no, it's a different shade of like bluish gray.
And
like
I
it's
love
still,
gray too.
Well, then the standard edition is like blue. It's like don't trust me on colors. Like I'll say a color and Jeannie
It
will
just
be
sounds like
it's
something
not
I
that
love.
color.
Oh yeah, he's not good.
So,
with
but
colors.
they're pretty machines. They are really
Both of
pretty
them.
machines.
So if you, whether or not you get the limited edition or not, they're both going to be beautiful, and you're going to feel like a queen sitting behind
Carol,
that
that's something
machine.
you guys would have to work out directly. Like I can't really be involved in those kind of games, but I'm not saying it's not possible, but it's I just can't be involved in that kind of stuff because I can't jeopardize our relationship. Did I answer all the questions there? So we'll be talking more about it. I have another video. I just need to figure out how to edit it because it was funny. Like I did a video with one of the educators with the engineering team there, and like, so like everybody's walking around with like, they have what is the Osmo? What is it? They had gimbals and like professional cameras and stuff. And like, they're like, do you want to use our hardware? And I'm like, yeah, selfie style is more our thing.
That's more A1.
It's got to be more rough around the edges for us. So, but like in the editing of the video, like when we were shooting the video, like I asked some questions in the middle of the video, which quite frankly, just, you know, we could post it like that, but I was like, okay, don't worry. Don't even pause it. Like I'll just edit it out. Like we'll cut and paste and figure it out. And so I love the community conversation here. So, all right.
It
Did
is
we want
funny
to talk
when
about this? Like, are we doing like some extra special
We're
stuff?
going to do it tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow, because Michelle is going to help me go
And do
through
we have a display of the SE700? Did you sell the display?
No, we have one right over there on the other side.
So, all right. So upcoming, there's some things I want to talk about. I posted some stuff about
This
machines.
is the most Patrick has had to say, huh? Like is this how it feels to be
you?
to be you normally?
So
You talk about that. I'm going to come back for this.
So last but not least, like, and I don't want to take any more time today because like I'm gonna actually run and get to work, but I want to, in the next couple of days, and there's really just tomorrow and the next day, like I want to highlight the machine specials that we posted as part of our brother's sale. So I've got a couple of machines that I have access to till the first week of September at a special price. And the price on those machines is ridiculous. So tomorrow we're going to do just really quickly highlight overview. The limited edition does not come with extra accessories, I don't think. I think it comes with extra stuff in Artspira, and it comes with the extra designs. It's a limited edition numbered machine, and it is a and then it has a different case. But I think the accessories are the same. And so so basically I want to talk about these machines because the deal on the machines is phenomenal. One, I'll be able to talk price wise. One's going to be a call for price, but like when there are machines where I was like, in that price range, that's the machine we're going to sell because it just doesn't make sense to sell anything else right now. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow. Was there anything else that you and I needed to talk about?
I just wanted to mention one thing. I haven't gotten the thread. I'm hoping that the thread for the upgrade class is going to come in today, but I got Quilty Christmas yesterday. So here is the needle minder. If you order that, this is going to be going out. And here is the Quilty Christmas.
So you don't need me for this stuff.
Nope, you can go.
Bye.
Quilty Christmas book. I always love it when it's a book, right? That makes it so much nicer. And I know some of you have been wondering like how I put together my books. So maybe what I'll show you is I do cut this apart and then I use my wire binder. I sit on the floor in the guest room. I can't even remember how I cut mine apart. I have a paper cutter at home, so I must have cut it apart. And then I sit on the floor, and then I punch out my holes, and then I put it all together. But maybe I'll actually show you how I do that, because people, they're always like, where can I get the wire-bound book? I wire-bind those myself. And, anyways, so there's the book. There's an embellishment kit. Of course, they always have something special in here that makes it so you've got to get the embellishment kit. But this is the embellishment kit. And here is the box. And what I'm doing is I'm sending it to you with your stuff in the box. And that's going to be all like the fabric and stuff. So, I'm going to stay late tonight. Haven't been able to stay late because Patrick's been gone. But I will be shipping tonight and getting stuff out. I also got my first order of Brother product. So if you went in the first order last week, all of that stuff just went in on Monday. So, but if you ordered it the week before last week, that stuff is mostly here. And I was looking through the box and it looks like almost everything came in. So I'll be combining orders. I'm looking at everything. So I'm looking at what you did online. If you have a Brother order, I'm just trying to check all my X's and O's. You don't check X's and O's. Dot my I's and cross my T's. Okay. So, but trying to just get all your stuff all together to send out. What else? I don't know if you have questions for me. I was really tired last night. So I only got through maybe half of my emails. So I'll try and get to more of those emails tonight and tomorrow. But I am trying to get to everyone, email you back about your orders. Is there anything that's specifically for me that I need to answer? Finding an extra. Miss Cheryl Palian, read your email. I sent you an email. My binder, the one that I got is the Achilles. It's the Achilles, and I think it's like the 3.0. But if you're interested, because I've seen several of them come up, and I'll email people when it comes up. What I don't want to do is send out a mass email, because I've been watching for them on a resale site, and I want to send out a mass email because I don't want it to get like bidded up. So I have a couple of people on that list. So if you send me an email and say I'm looking for a wire binder, I'll put you on that list and I'll let you know. Please, were you able? Please show. Teresa, what do you want us to show you? And then I'm still reading. Do the coiling. Done. I think I've answered everything. Okay. I think that's it for now. So I have all of this. I'm going to get to work. That's what I'm going to say. And last night I sat down and I did my pumpkins and potions and I sewed on my borders, side and top. Haven't done my binding. And I was going to record the embellishments. I'm still up in the air about that. I might just sit there and just like bust it out and not record it because you guys can do that part, right? We'll do all the actual stitching together. So you may or may not get that video, but I'll bring it in when it's all done. And once this all goes out, let's start our Quilty Christmas sew-along. We're going to start it, I'd say, first or second week of September. And then I am planning on also, we're going to do Lori Holt. So I think I've gotten almost all that fabric in, and then we'll get that together. I also got in Minky Kim panels. So the Minky Kim panels came in yesterday. We will cut those apart and also get those sent out. Zippers still are scheduled to be here at the beginning of October. So we'll check on the timing with that. Just trying to get it all together. And we are going to do pants. That's going to happen too. So have a great day.